Thank you. And now the President of Djibouti.
Thank you. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.
In the name of God, the merciful, the benevolent.
Governments, ladies and gentlemen, let me at the outset join others who have preceded me to congratulate you and your government in both the conception and concretization of this conference. I applaud the unique character of this conference, which for the first time in the last 2 decades brings together a substantial and keen segment of the international community to address in a clear and blunt manner Somalia's multiple agonies and to charge unified determination and commitment toward the vigorous, pragmatic, and lasting corrective measures. Honorable Prime Minister, ladies and gentlemen, this conference is timely, coming at the convergence of positive trends taking place in Somalia, including the enhanced unity and coordination among the various external actors, the improved security environment, the lessening of the impact of humanitarian disasters, the rejection by the Somali people of Al-Shabaab and other extremist entities, the diminishing of piracy in the last year, the good progress in completing tasks on the roadmap. My country's selfless and relentless engagement in the long-running Somali conflicts informs us that realistic, consensual, and transparent approach will salvage this nation. Any approach that sidelines or sidesteps this cardinal principle is doomed to fail. Whatever may be the interest or motivation of any country, group of countries, or organizations, it must be clearly understood that we can only achieve the goal of this conference if we avoid what has prolonged or militated against the solution to the Somali problem, namely the lack of harmonious and cohesive actions at the regional and international levels, or the sheer indifference by a segment of the international community. I am here today because I am convinced that this conference has the central aim of delivering a new international approach to Somalia, and that there is a recognition to build on a consensus to tackle both the root causes and effects of the problems in Somalia. Having said that, let me now squarely focus on an issue of crucial importance that the international community is not addressing adequately or meaningfully. As you are all aware, my country is contributing troops to AMISOM. So we fully welcome an international support for AMISOM in order to perform effectively, to have a predictable funding and a more sustainable package for troop allowances, increased logistical support, and crucial equipment for the success of the mission. However, we strongly believe that unless we concretely, genuinely, and comprehensively come to an understanding on the development of a viable alternative to AMISOM sooner rather than later, all worthy efforts on Somalia, unfortunately, will not yield the desired outcome. Somalia urgently needs the creation and development of its own security forces that will eventually have the capacity, capability, and credibility to take over the country's security from AMISOM. Now is the time, not later and not in a vague and incoherent manner, to address the shape of the future Somalia security forces. The erroneous notion that the current ragtag Somali security forces that operate under the shadow of AMISOM will eventually be up to the task is irrational and inconsistent with reality. The international community is therefore called upon to think straight on this issue, that Somalia's security forces deserve undivided international support for the recruitment, training, equipment, compensation, and barracks. This crucial objective in our view, cannot be realized through piecemeal or divergent training approaches or waiting until overtime AMISOM transitions into training missions. That will be too little and too late. Fulfilling this promise shall be the only enduring legacy of the international community's involvement in Somalia. May I remind you all that in the early 1990s, Somalia had the benefit of about 30,000 UN peacekeepers that cost us about $1 billion over 3 years. By the time they withdrew, however, the country was left behind in the same chaotic and violent situation without a single soldier or policeman, if not a proliferation of vandalism, lawlessness, and pervasive human rights violation that we have to this day. My message to this conference is quite simple. Let us not put the urgency and necessity of the development of a credible Somali security force on the back burner, while focusing on the equally important issue of politics, economic development, and humanitarian relief. We believe also that it is high time for our brothers from Somaliland and the TFG to initiate discussions. And we believe that Somaliland will benefit from we hope that Somaliland will benefit from any financial and development assistance derived from the London conference. I thank you.